These monster trucks, the size of a two-story house, are mining an energy source that most Americans are not familiar with. What looks like dirt is actually oil that many of us have in our gas tanks. It's called bitumen or oil sands, and there's plenty of it in Canada.
It's an incredible resource. It's a world-class resource that someday, people will be reading about in history books.
Canada is our #1 foreign supplier of oil, a surprising fact to many. But the fact is, getting more oil from our friendly neighbor to the north is good for our economy and energy security. Increased investments in Canadian oil would put more than 500,000 Americans to work and generate $775 billion in GDP by 2035.
It's an incredible economic engine that we're sitting on here. We've got to take advantage of that.
The Keystone XL pipeline would increase the amount of Canadian oil coming to the U.S. The pipeline would bring crude from Alberta to our refineries in the Gulf, increasing Canadian imports to 4 million barrels a day by 2020. That's twice what we currently import from the Persian Gulf.
Do you want to take $100 and buy a barrel of oil? If you buy it within the continent, so if you buy it from Montana or you buy it from North Dakota, you buy it from Alberta, that $100 stays within the continent.
The State Department hopes to approve the building of Keystone XL by the end of the year. The approval process is now entering its third year. Canadian oil sands projects that produce American jobs are ready to be fed through Keystone XL, but the delayed approval process is denying thousands of Americans new paychecks. 10,000 U.S. jobs will not be created next year because Keystone XL does not exist, according to the Canadian Energy Research Institute. That number jumps to 45,000 in 2015 and close to 85,000 jobs in 2020. Instead of relying on oil from hostile countries, Alberta's energy minister hopes the Obama administration will recognize the importance of strengthening America's energy security by enhancing its partnership with a strong ally.
I think that the United States has always been our best customer, and we'd like to keep it that way.
But the U.S. isn't the only customer. Minister Lightford says in July, China invested $15 billion in his country's oil resources. He says Canada will continue to grow this industry, and he hopes that future expansion will include bringing more bitumen to the U.S. market.